All right, guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks and another episode of the Back Shop. And how did I break this one? All right, so this is 100% my fault. I messed up, and you saw the installation of the decoder in this in an earlier video. I'll post that up here somewhere. All right, these came off pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk you through this. What happened? I was at the club, and there was a gentleman there who had a couple of these RSs, and he was looking at putting decoders in them, and I recommended the Soundtracks decoder. Very fine decoder. Highly recommend them. And that's what we installed in here. The Tsunami 2, Alco, of course, because it's an Alco. And I was showing it to him, and I put it back on the track. Everything ran fine, and I moved it, and something happened. So I don't know if you can see this, but this wire stripped all the way back. This is a factory wire, stripped all the way back, and shorted out to the board, which shorted out the amplifier. So I sent this back to Soundtracks to get repaired, and here it is back. So what we're going to do is, since that wire is crap and whatnot, I'm not happy with it, so we're doing that. We're going to change that. But we're also going to upgrade from the 2 ESU speakers that were in there. That was what I could fit in there without doing modifications to everything, because a little uncomfortable modding all this stuff up a little bit in the beginning. Now I like these scale sound speakers so much, I don't care. We're modding them. All right, so I don't know if these go this way. Not 100% sure how that goes. Yeah, look, I'm gonna check online when we go to put these in. But this is the units he has for the RS ones. I'm going with 2 speakers because 2 speakers sounds better. All right. There is a lot of stuff going on here, and I am just pulling my hair out of my head because I got stuff everywhere now. All right. Show season's over for a little while, so I can get back to making more videos. And as always, I'm running behind on stuff. I gotta get video. I gotta get the. I stepped away from the Fremo stuff for a little while. Kind of got a little burnt out, and just dealing with some people on the side. Kind of lost interest in doing Fremo, but we're gonna get back at doing it, and we're gonna be at the Amherst show with this thing. It's not gonna be scenic. Not gonna have a lot of scenery on it. I'm gonna get the basic scenery on it because that's what I got time to get done. So that's what we're gonna get done. That's interesting. Even though there's grease in there, there's a little bit of oxidation on that on this worm gear here. So I think we're gonna clean that up. There's grease on it. Now this unit, I didn't pull these trucks apart, and because usually when I do this, when I solder on the new wire leads, I usually clean these trucks out. So these definitely didn't get cleaned apart. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm seeing that there's a lot of gunk on these things. So we're gonna get that in. I mean, got a lot of crud on there. It's Surprising to me. I wouldn't think there'd be that much, but there is. Yeah, see, like this wire, just like the insulation just came apart on this wire. It just fell apart. All right, so this unit, long hood forward. Yeah, like that blue green stuff on there is oxidation. So let's wipe this off. That's what's on the inside. Huh? I think it's oxidation, unless they used blue-green grease. Well, we're going to clean that off. Get as much of that off as possible. I have gear oil I prefer to use. I have the liquid, and I have the pen. The pen is perfect for this. Just a little bit on there. All right, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting good solder joint in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find my little file. I have a little file somewhere around here. This will work. Between that being a little dirty and me being a little dirty, I think we got a good connection there. We'll have a good connection. All I can tell you is every time I complain about how messy this workbench is, it seems to get 5 times worse. It's my fault, because I just go right to the next project. I really got to sit down here one day and just rip this thing apart and clean this whole thing up. Toothbrushes are great tools to have by your on your bench. Get an extra firm one. Gets all the stuff out, but no one knows where it came from. Yep, you saw that just happen. All right, guys, we have the trucks rewired and back in. We have the decoder on. I soldered back the motor leads back on here. Red to the positive, black to the negative. I'm pretty sure that's the right color. I didn't change these out when I did this. So I'm pretty sure this is heading in the right direction. Now, what I got to do is, if I remember correctly, I got to double check, but I believe these face down, which I don't really like. But these wires are supposed to run up through here. So I can get them, if I can do it this way, I will install this way. I just prefer that. I have to double check because we have to cut these tubes down a lot. And I'm not really sure. These have number boards in them already. So what I'm thinking I'm doing is I'm going to attach the LEDs to these number boards that are in here. Black them out, silver them out, black them out, and then call that a good for that. Because these are supposed to go on there, but these are numbered. I believe some of them have unnumbered number boards, and this has like a little flat piece that sticks, a little raised piece that sticks in that hole. I believe. I'm going to double check that, and we'll move on from there, because that's what we're doing next is the lights. That was the big thing I'm doing is I'm changing out these lights, because I didn't like the way they looked. And since I'm in here and I'm putting these speakers in, I have to cut them down anyway. All right, guys, so here we are back at it. Not sure what happened to that to that part of the video. So basically what I did was I found out how long I needed the wire. All right, this is the positive wire for the speaker. Comes in, comes out. This is the negative side of this speaker, which goes to the positive side of this speaker. Okay, and one of these two blacks is the ground, which is the ground for the speaker. All right, I just have to figure out which one I made. All right, so that's the track. All right, so this is the speaker. This is the speaker. Track. So let's get this wired in. We're gonna get this wired in, get on a test track so you can hear it, and then we'll come in here and we'll figure out the we'll come in here and we'll figure out the lights. So let's get this away. Keep it away. All right. So I think the light's gonna be pretty easy to do. I'm just gonna have to make a huge plug, which I wasn't not too happy with, but it is what it is. I know I did it, but I wound up cutting that friggin' wire a little bit too short. It is what it is. There we go. We got a little extra out of it. Well, not happy with that. That should have been a lot longer than that. So, I'm going to tin the F3, F4 is going to get tinned, because that's going to be where I'm going to pick up my number boards. Alright, so we're pretty much done with this for now. Alright, so I don't know what I'm saying, we're done with this for now. Well, we're pretty much done with this part for now. Let's go throw it on the test track and make sure we got this wired in right. Or blow the decoder again. Yeah, let's do that. All right, guys, so here we are on the Fremo modules. I just didn't feel like setting up the test track. I got to clean something up to set up, so I just put on here. I got the microphone about a foot away. Something like that. Yeah, it's about a foot. I don't know. So I found it in JMRI. Had to load it back in because this decoder was reset when it got sent in for service. All right, so here we go. I open up the throttle. Let's start up. Here's the horn. Bell. They had dynamic brakes. Not exactly sure if I'm going forward or backwards. I don't have a light in it yet. But that's set for forward, and it's running backwards. So I don't know if I'm wired. I might have the motor wired in backwards. Not sure on that yet. We'll figure it out next. You got no momentum in this thing. So yeah, right now this is fine. We'll come back in here later on, and we'll once I get the lights wired in, we'll get this thing squared away with all the sound settings on it. So let's go back to the workbench and start working on these lights.